dancer up is Graham Haddon. Graham will be joined by his brother, Brian. And Graham's tunes are Captain Gedde's Turnabout, Rachel's Hornpipe, Doug Boyd's Favorite, and Old Wife at the Milldust. And I believe Graham is ready to go. Not quite? Well, I'll take this opportunity to remind everyone. Were those ever funny? I'm not really sure. I'll take this opportunity to remind everyone tonight, when you get home, you get tucked into bed, turn your clocks forward by an hour, and you will lose an hour of sleep, and the sun will be up much earlier for you. So welcome, Graham Haddon. very enjoyable drumming knockout. Interesting that both competitors were a family affair, father, son, and two brothers. Very interesting. Yeah. So we will ask the drumming judges to retire, and they'll come back with the results in a little while. We do have a couple of more presentations. One thing that was asked of me to mention was about the, somewhere around here I have my notes, the Mary McKinnon and the Ian McKinnon scholarship for the Simon Fraser University, which is awarded every year to a bagpiper that attends the Simon Fraser University. And it was mentioned to me by the family that this year's recipient was Craig Matthews, and that he'd written a very nice letter to the family to thank them for that. So that's excellent. So another housekeeping thing that we do every year, as you had me, as you saw earlier on, I had all the life members stand up and congratulate them. This is the time of year where the board reflects and either decides to present or not present another life membership. And this year they have decided to present a couple of life memberships. If I could have Mr. Jack Lee come forward, and Jack has a couple of presentations to make.
Well, thank you very, very much, David. It's a great pleasure for me to participate in the awarding of this life memberships to Ron McLeod and Ron Sutherland, who are two very good friends of mine and two men who I have a great deal of respect for. But before we do that, an event like this doesn't just happen. Somebody has to make it happen. And we're talking about a very, very busy person who did it. She just finished graduating from the PDP program at SFU, and was pretty much hired straight away at the Chilliwack School District, and is commuting to Chilliwack every day and drumming in SFU and teaching at RMN. This is a busy lady, but she is pretty much a committee of one and did a fantastic job at this dinner. So Sarah McClatchy, please come up here for a moment. These very nice flowers are for you, and thank you very, very much for arranging the dinner again this year. Well, as I said, it's a great pleasure for me to be involved in the awarding of these life memberships. I thought this was kind of a secret. I thought I was going to be doing the Angus first, and Angus is very, very good at telling the story, but not telling you who the story is about until the very end. And then you try to guess and honk, wrong, and he tells us who it is. But I walk in tonight and it says right in the bulletin that the life memberships are being awarded to the two Ronnies. So I use that expression with affection. And I won't use it too many more times. When we first started to get to know Ron McLeod and Ron Sutherland, there was a pretty bad British comedy show called The Two Ronnies. And we, for a while, were affectionately calling the two Ronnies, the two Ronnies. And then it dawned on us that maybe that was just something we shouldn't do. Although they do have very good senses of humor. This is the first. We've never, in this association, awarded two life memberships on the same night. At least we don't think we've ever done that. And we really do not have that many life members here. Honorary life members, and there are probably 3 or 4 ways to become a life member. One is to be a champion piper or drummer and win something really big. And another way is to be a very accomplished teacher, like Jimmy Wilson, and who has taught for many, many years. And this man is turning 90 this summer, and he's still teaching the bagpipes. How's that for good? Another way is to be kind of a builder, help to build this association. And another way would be a leader, pipe major or leading drummer and any sort of things. Ron Sutherland and Ron McLeod are both very, very accomplished and very, very interesting people. And they had very successful lives, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But before we ever got to know them, 35 years ago, they were already very accomplished in their personal and professional lives. Both have a love for the pipes, and especially the pibroch. And yet neither one of them had really the opportunity to learn when they were a young man. Very much like our own Donald Ross. Loved the pipes and just never had that opportunity at the right time. But still always had that love for the pipes. They've served in the association in various roles for 35 years, many capacities. They're now trustees, oh pardon me, counselors, along with Bob Malcolm. And I said to Bob earlier tonight, you must have got a big promotion going from trustee to counselor, maybe a 50% raise or something. But 50% of nothing is still not very much. But thank you for being trustees in our association. We do appreciate that very much. Ron and Ron's lives have intersected at many points. Let me just tell you about one, particular one, which is close to my heart, and that's the Pibroch Club. We started this little Pibroch Club of ours in 1981, and it was a meeting at Ron Sutherland's house. Ron McLeod, Ron Sutherland, Peter Ramonier, and myself. And the two Rons had been kind of pestering us for a wee while. You know, we need to form a Pibroch Club around here, keep Pibroch music alive and well. Look at how good the Pibroch is out here. And, you know, we knew it was true, it was all true, we needed to do it. But somebody had to darn well do it. And those were the two Rons. So we had the meeting, and we decided at that meeting that Ron Sutherland would help to organize it, Ron McLeod would help to document it and publicize it, and Peter and I would get the pipers. That's kind of how we left it. And so we're still going. We've had 84 Pibroch Club meetings, 84 meetings. Alex Galloway, who's here tonight, who's filling in some trivia. Apparently I've played 59 times. Oh my goodness. But there have been 500 Pibrochs so far. And many of the people in this room have played a lot of tunes. 144 different tunes have been played. If you just scour through the Pibroch Society collection, you quickly realize that's about half the book. Pretty darn good for a Pibroch Club here in little old Vancouver. So, let me talk to you just for a moment about Ron Sutherland, who's here with his lovely wife Eileen. They've been married for 60 years. How amazing is that? They have 3 children, Dave, who's way up in Fort Nelson, Kathleen, who's from Victoria, although Kathleen's here tonight, which is great, and Carol, who's married to a Scot and living over in Linlithgow, Scotland. Eileen herself is very accomplished. She was involved, has been much of her life in the Jane Austen Society, and held the office of president of the North American Jane Austen Society. Now, Ron Sutherland was born in Winnipeg. And as a lad, he had pipers all around him. He had his uncle, Neil Sutherland. There were 2 or 3 different Neil Sutherlands. Uncle William Sutherland was a piper. Ron Sutherland is one of those people that I can actually remember the first time I ever met him. It's kind of unusual that I would remember something like that, but I just remember meeting Ron Sutherland because it was a typical Pibroch contest, I suppose. I was sitting there judging, and the professional piper was playing. You know what these Pibroch contests are like. The best pipers are up playing the best music, and they stuck over in the corner of the field, and there's not one single person watching it, except for this fellow named Ron Sutherland.